Honestly, guys, I didn't think I would be making a video about this subject really much at all. So with that being said, I just want to put it out there really quick that this video is not really about the Wizard Liz in herself or even really her situation. I think I've seen so many videos online that kind of already explain things pretty well. And yeah, I don't like see the need of beating a dead horse, but there's something else that I wanted to talk about that stemmed from this whole Wizard Liz situation, and one that's actually really so sad to even have to be a video discussion, because I really don't like doing this. I don't like being that girl that gets online and criticizes other women, but I just want to disclaim really fast. I don't make these videos because I'm like hating on women. It's because I genuinely want women to be better. I want women to be more aware of themselves, so that way they put their best out into the world, so that way other people, when they do make videos where they hate on women, they just like don't have enough ammo to do so. And I think nowadays there's just too much wrong going on with women and how women treat each other, and this is why women are forever in a perpetual state of losing even when they do nothing wrong. Now with the Wizard Liz, I think what kind of also makes her situation a little bit like sucky is the fact that she is such a public figure. And when you are such a public figure, especially one who makes content kind of like Wizard Liz, she's a bit controversial, right? So a lot of people don't have empathy or treat her situation weirdly because of the way that they feel about her content personally. So for me, I try to eradicate that bias and say, hey, listen, regardless how you feel about what's going on or like what kind of videos she makes, statements she's made in the past, whether you like her, whether you dislike her, it doesn't matter, right? That's not what this is about. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about her content and, oh, like she would say this and that. Like I just, at the end of the day, I think that what is happening to the Wizard Liz is horrible. And you can be rich, you can be famous, you can be the most loved person, and this does not change the fact that what she's going through is a nightmare. And I don't think anybody deserves it. Like, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And I think it's a little bit scary how much people are like low-key like celebrating and saying that they don't feel bad for her because of how they personally feel. And I think that's what's disturbing about this whole thing going down. One thing that this situation really showed me is we can sit here and listen to women talk about how much they hate men, how men are so evil because they're willing to do something like this. But at the end of the day, I think that women hate each other just as much as they claim men hate them, because the responses, like I said, were just really crazy. Like, a lot of people are like talking about how online, oh, I don't feel bad for her because she didn't listen to Abby. And listen, how many of you guys have gotten advice from somebody that you did not know personally? You don't know them, so why are you going to listen to advice from them? I'm addressing that first off because I understand where a lot of people are coming from when they say, oh, the reason why she kind of lost me is because somebody was warning her about this man, and somebody was saying, this was my experience, be careful, like this is who he is, and she still went ahead and, you know, she did what she did. But the issue is, hindsight is not always 20/20. A lot of people are saying things like she should have had the baby in Belgium, or she should have got an abortion, which is insane to say to somebody that you should have got an abortion. Listen, I am personally pro-choice, but I won't tell somebody after their baby is born that they should have had an abortion. Another thing that I keep hearing people say is, oh, she shouldn't have put Landon on the birth certificate. And I'm just like so shocked by that, because I'm like, I mean, to be honest, like I don't have kids. And I don't have a lot of close friends that do have kids that are single. So I'm like, I don't know how that really works. Like, I don't know how it goes if you have a child with somebody out of wedlock and you don't want to put their name on the birth certificate. No idea. But I I don't know about you guys, but I feel like because of how vindictive that guy is and how he wants to have some sort of connection or tie to Liz, I feel like maybe her not wanting to add his name onto the birth certificate would have created a whole other plethora of issues that people just like pretend don't exist, because everybody wants to sit here in the present day when they're not the ones in that position and say, this is what you should have done. When in reality, I mean, you don't know that. Like, you don't know that them making this decision that you're saying they should have made would have actually made anything better. I said it like 3 seconds ago. Hindsight is not always 20/20. Sometimes it is. But like, you just don't know. Until something happens, you do not know the outcome of that decision. So people really need to stop saying what she should have done, because what's done is done. Whatever you're saying she should have done, or whatever harsh things that you're saying about her and how she doesn't deserve empathy, I don't know her personally, obviously, but like, I know myself, and I am extremely harsh on myself. There is nothing that anybody could say to me that is more hurtful than the things that I can feel towards myself, which is something I'm trying to work on. That is not a good quality. But how do you know that she doesn't already feel those things? She's probably already sitting there thinking about all the things that she wishes she did to make her situation better. I'm sure she's already thinking about how she should have did this or she should have did that. But what good does that do? It already happened. You can't fix it. It's there. It's done. The best you can do is take what you have now and just try to work with that. Who knows? If she did any of those other things that people are saying that she should have done, maybe things would still not have been perfect. I mean, you just don't know that. And I don't want people to keep doing this thing where they think they're so above other people's problems and like, oh, it would never be me. That would never happen to me. I swear to God, like, I know quite a few people, like a handful of people, that were either in situations that were very similar to Liz's situation or were almost her exactly to a T. And what's so crazy is those are the same people talking about he trapped her ass, like he baby trapped her. I'm like, you are sick in the head, because you are saying that somebody does not deserve empathy or grace because somebody told them something, or because she was so good at giving advice and she didn't take her own advice. People like that who have that mindset, they will do the same to you. If you find yourself on hard times, they will look at you the same way. What makes you think that they're going to treat you any different? They are definitely going to give you the same level of BS, lack of empathy that they're giving this random stranger online, because they think they are above making mistakes. When the funny part is they're not above making mistakes, because they have definitely made their own fair share of mistakes. I mean, most people will hear advice, right? And most people are kind of the type of people, like, they just gotta live it and learn, you know? Like, you can't just keep telling people to do things and then expect to be listened to all the time. It just doesn't work like that. People need to learn for themselves. That is what life experience is all about. If we all just listened to the wisdom that like people bestowed on us before, like, none of us would ever have any hardships. And like, how beautiful must that be? But that's just not realistic. Like, girly pop, did you forget that you yourself were like making mistakes and not listening to people's advice left and right? And that is okay. That is part of the human experience. Like, if we're all just going to think that people deserve crap because they didn't listen to somebody that they don't know, then what a scary world to live in. I don't think that that means that she just deserves this crap. I mean, imagine like being her kid and growing up and then seeing like how people were talking about your mom just because she didn't listen to a girl's advice that she didn't even know. Who also, according to Liz's stories, I don't want to get into it too much because again, this is not really about Liz per se. But if Liz was telling the truth, that girl was also doing some shady stuff. Like, she blocked her and she was like, I don't know, she was doing some weird stuff. So it's like, why do you guys just say, in hindsight only, she should have listened to so-and-so, when it's like that girl could have been giving her misleading advice? People don't think about that. People really don't think about that at all. People just think that they are, like, that's the crazy part, is everybody attacks her because they're like, oh, she thought she was above the program. And to that I say, I think everybody in a weird way kind of has a little bit of an invincibility complex. I mean, if none of us had an invincibility complex, nobody would be in a relationship. Nobody would get married. Nobody would take a chance because everybody would be so scared that they're next. But like, people still get married. People still get into relationships because we still believe, oh no, I did the work. I found the one. People keep saying things like, oh, by the way, one more disclaimer. I forgot to mention this earlier. I am not downplaying the importance of videos where they're talking about what we can learn from the Wizard Liz and her situation and kind of where she went wrong without attacking her. As long as it's done with empathy, I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, hey, here were kind of like the red flags that I saw from the beginning. So if you see this in your situation, then you know you can recognize these things. I don't think that there's anything wrong with those videos because they're not attacking her and they're not mean-spirited. That's not what I have an issue with. My issue is when people talk about her like she doesn't deserve empathy, like a normal human being, just because she's a public figure. And it's just so sad because I actually, like, online see a lot more women talking about her in such a ruthless manner more than men. So that's what freaks me out. It's like, oh, women, like, you guys can be really unforgiving and really harsh, and you can sit here and talk about how you're way smarter than her and this would never happen to you. But like, again, enough with that mindset, because I knew so many people who would say things like, oh, I would never have a kid, like I would never do this, and then like, what did they do? They did that. Life does this thing where you say I would never do something, and then life is like, how about now? How about now? How about now? And to relate to this personally, right? Like my example is kind of silly, but like I used to say I would never live in Jersey when I moved to New York. And then what did I end up doing? I ended up having to move to Jersey. So just goes to show you, like, the more you talk down on something or place yourself above something, life will come in and remind you that nobody is above the program. The more you focus on something, the more likely you will find yourself in a situation where your morals or that thing that you said you would never do is being tested. People are also talking about her like, oh, you didn't follow your own advice. And to that I say, I don't watch all her videos, so I don't actually really know the accuracy of that statement. But I will say this: how many people do you know give the greatest advice and do not take their own advice? If it's not you, it's somebody you know, because there's a reason why that is like a saying. Oh, the person who gives the best advice but like never takes it. Like, it's a thing. Like, it's not like an abnormal like thing that makes you evil because you don't take your own advice. Like, that is a very unfortunate character trait that a lot of people have. But also, I mean, I think she's still a young girl. She's like, what, 26? She's trying to figure life out just like the rest of us. And people are just upset because they feel like they put so much trust in this girl online. And there you go, there's your lesson. Okay, so just don't keep taking advice from girls who are in their 20s who don't actually have a lot of life experience. But just because she didn't do, or she found herself, she was a victim of a psycho person who stalked her and who is emotionally abusive, that does not mean that even if she didn't take her own advice, that does not mean she deserves any of this. And I can't believe that people really are saying, I don't feel bad. This girl did not get to spend her birthday with her baby because her child is being weaponized. And that is a nightmare. To people saying that they don't feel bad for her, I pray that you never go through something like that, because that's an evil thing to wish on somebody. That is a very evil thing to wish on someone, or an evil thing to be like, don't care, you deserved it, you had it coming, you should have seen the signs. I don't understand that. Do people talk to you like that when you make a decision that isn't a good one? Because I guarantee you would not want to hear that from your loved ones or your close circle. I really hope you don't talk to people in your circle like that. But I mean, like, let's be real. That is one of the dark scary qualities that I notice a lot of women have. Like, a lot of them also as well fall into the same thing that we accuse men of like enjoying the downfall of a woman who is successful and beautiful and powerful. Now, let's enter MJ Gray into the conversation. And she's kind of been talked about a lot when it comes to this, because she is in a situation that kind of looks like the beginning of the Wizard Liz's situation. And I feel a little bit awkward bringing her into the conversation, only because she's a public figure, and then you're now comparing her to another public figure who had a relationship that kind of started out appearance-wise looking the same way, and then like look at how that ended. It feels uncomfortable to bring her into the conversation, because then it feels like you're bringing in this bad energy, and like you're just like assuming that what happened to Liz is gonna happen to her too. I don't think any of us hope for that. I definitely don't, for her sake either. I hope she wakes up and, you know, sees weird signs that she's not seeing before, or just hopefully she's lucky and he's not a piece of shit. But to be honest, let's just assume he is, right? We as women have gotta be smarter. Like, y'all, please stop talking about how you hate men on the internet. People are so obsessed with the idea of virality. So talking about how much you hate men or hate women on the flip side, because they're both equally just as bad, doing that is going to attract some crazy people to your channel. The way that if you want a public platform, right, the way that you talk to your viewers is going to be the same way that people talk to you. That's why you need to kind of mind your tone and just be sure that you're not saying things for the sake of social media virality. Because I think a lot of people really do forget this. Social media exists right here, and then real life exists right here. And there is cause and effect, and there is a lot of consequences for your actions. So people are so funny, because like they forgot how this works. They think that just because they say something on social media that's crazy, there's not going to be any real life consequences for that crazy thing, where we're kind of now at a point where we're really starting to see the lines between social media and real life are not that blurred. They're very related. And you know, whatever you do on social media is going to come back and either benefit you in real life or haunt you in real life. So please do not think that if you want a public platform, don't think that just like pursuing virality and just saying crazy things to spark up outrage for the sake of having a platform is worth it. Because I'm not gonna lie, I would not want to be in that position where it's like my life is now taking a huge upside down turn because somebody else is trying to humble me. Like, imagine that. Like, imagine some dweeb wanting to humble you because you're pretty and you're rich and you help a lot of people, right? Just, it's not worth it. Like, a lot of people are just very willing to say or do anything for clicks, for likes. And I personally think that if this experience taught a lot of us anything, it's definitely that is not the case and that is not worth it. So with all that being said, I really do hope that MJ Gray's situation is different. I hope that she is careful. I hope that whatever red flags that she does see, she becomes aware of them and either gets herself out if he is dangerous, or hopefully she's just lucky. But I thought it was just kind of sucky how she was talking about the Wizard Liz in such a negative way that reflects a lot of how these women are also talking about her. Because, you know, what we don't realize is for women, right? Men too, I'm sure, but I'm not a man, so I can't speak for them. But like, I think a lot of times with women, we have this tendency, right, to come at something very angrily. So for example, like with the Wizard Liz, so she had a strong emphasis on, you know what, actually this is MJ Gray. Let me talk about MJ Gray, not the Wizard Liz. MJ Gray had this tendency to always talk about she hates designer clothes and she hates this stuff and, you know, whatever. And then what ended up happening, this guy came into her life and he said, oh, I bet you hate that because you never got it. So I'm going to give it to you and then let's see how you feel then. And then immediately she did like a 180, and now she's constantly flaunting her designer stuff in our face. Now, I bring this up to say, these things that you guys say online, people are watching. This is why you guys need to stop talking about how much you hate men online. It is not helping. It is making everything so much worse. These guys are watching your videos and they are like, how can I change you? How can I break you? And people like MJ Gray or like the Wizard Liz, who give these like dating advice, tend to place a very strong emphasis on financial gain. Now, I have no idea how they're doing this, because I really didn't know that it was that easy to fake being rich, but apparently so, because I mean, on Liz's channel, her priority was finding financial freedom because that was an insecurity that was deep inside her, and I don't blame her for that. A lot of people have that fear, that insecurity of, am I not going to survive? And nowadays that means with money. Now, these bummy losers are watching these videos and they're like studying you. I mean, they really are. They're like, okay, how can I get you to fold? And whatever is your insecurity is going to be the thing that you harp on the most. So MJ Gray talking about how she hates designer stuff. Why are you talking so much about designer stuff if you actually hate it? People think that the more you talk about how much you hate something, that is you telling the truth. No, that's actually you snitching on yourself. That's you telling somebody, this is the area that I'm insecure in. Come fix it. And what did he do? He came and fixed it. How do you, as a person who really hates designer stuff, just all of a sudden do a 180, and then once you're given some designer stuff, now you love them? And that's what I'm saying. These creators they're not that hard to study for these psychotic men who have nothing better to do in their life. They're seeing it. It's like, okay, she keeps talking about cheating. She must have an insecurity about cheating. Okay, that's how I'm gonna get her back. It's really not that hard. It's actually scary how easy it is to study somebody and to mold yourself into being their ideal partner just to then screw them over later. Anyways, that is pretty much everything that I have to say about that. Go follow me on TikTok. I will put my TikTok handle somewhere on the screen or in the description box. I do makeup tutorials and I am planning on doing some live streaming over there. So if you guys want to see more like personal story times, if you guys are into makeup videos, go check me out there. And if you don't, we're gonna have some beef. No, but in all seriousness, you guys, if you liked this video, like it, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I do these every week, and share with a friend, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. And a couple elephants in the room. My brows. I do not have a brow pencil right now, so if you bring up my brows, we're gonna have problems. Elephant in the room number 2, my hair color. I'm gonna get it done in a couple weeks. If you mention that, we're also gonna have beef.